welcome back to Soul Shift. I'm your host, Dani, and on today's episode, we are talking about a really tough topic for many of us parents, which is kindergarten anxiety. My daughter is getting close to the first day, and I mean, we are counting down. September, she goes to kindergarten, and I am feeling a ton of emotions. So let's talk about it, maybe even cry about it, and see navigate this transition and make it a little bit smoother for the kiddos, but also for us. Keep listening. So, like I said, my daughter is on the brink of starting kindergarten. And if I'm being totally honest, my heart feels like it's doing like somersaults. She and I have been inseparable since she was born. And I mean that. When she was 6 months old, COVID really skyrocketed. And the first major shutdown happened. I was a teacher at the time, and we were originally supposed to be spending 2 weeks at home to kind of let cases level out. They thought things would get back to normal, so to speak, and we could go back and just finish school year. But those 2 weeks turned into months of teaching at home, and cases continued to rise. So I was at home with my sweet girl every single day, and I loved it. She was brand new. My baby, I went back to work when she was 3 months old. I got to come back home when she was 6 months old, and I loved it. She was just this new, sweet little girl, and I didn't have to miss anything. I didn't miss much. I got to see the first steps, her, trying all her first food. She wasn't with the babysitter or anything during that time. I really got to be there. But because of that, she did become a super duper mommy's girl. And she and I, like I said, were inseparable. We still kind of are, to be honest. But now, as she is inching into this new chapter, I am both excited, and if I think about it too long, I could actually cry. And that's okay, I think. One of my biggest challenges for me, and I'm sure for other parents as well, is managing our own anxiety about this milestone. I know we worry about how the kids will adjust. Will they make friends? How are they going to handle all of the new experiences? All those things are going in the back of your mind. I know they are. And I was a teacher, like I said, for elementary school. I taught, I saw this, I talked to parents, I guided them through this anxiety a lot of the time. And now here I am on the other side. And it is not as easy as I made parents feel it was. But Nova is super excited. She has never once mentioned being nervous or scared, and I don't ever let her know about my anxiety. I don't want to make her feel nervous or scared, but man, it has been hard. It really has been hard. I'm so excited for her to learn new things. I'm excited for her to meet her teacher, make new friends, come home with stories about her day. But on the other hand, I have this nagging worry of like, will she feel scared? Is she going to miss us too much? Will she feel that she's been there too long? Because in reality, she really has not had to spend too much time away from us. She is in dance. She goes to dance class. She's been doing that for a couple years now. And she's never really there without us for more than an hour to 2 hours at a time. She's really never been away from my husband or I, or either a family member, for more than a few hours to a weekend. Um, we did go on a vacation once for 5 days, but she was with her godparents and her aunts and uncles. So it wasn't like she's ever been away where she was just in a new environment and didn't know what to do. So that's something I think about often. And I think it's natural to want to protect your kids from any potential discomfort or, any challenge. But we also do know that facing these experiences and going through those uncertainties and challenges is how they will learn and grow. So Like I mentioned before, I was a teacher. I was an elementary school teacher. I never taught kindergarten, but I surely saw the parents trailing in on the first day. I heard all the kiddos crying for the first hour of the day away from their parents. I actually, for the end part of my in school career, my classroom was right next to the kindergarten rooms. So I would hear all of the time what was going on. Some parents would walk to the classroom with the kids would be clinging to their parents. Some of the kids walked right in, excited, ready to own the place, weren't scared at all. It was just a varying of emotions. But overall, that first, couple days to the first week, there were lots of tears, and I could just hear all my coworkers trying to guide them through it. There wasn't much, you know, content being taught in that time. It was really just let's get them comfortable, know they're safe here that whole time. And even the parents. Um, I did see as the days and weeks went on, I could see them building a strong community in their classrooms. Parents who initially seemed really anxious and hesitant gradually warmed up. They gradually warmed up as they started connecting with other parents, and they formed bonds with other parents. They exchanged stories, they were offering support, and they were, celebrating milestones. There were lots of events and things going on in the school, as the children achieved different things. So that kind of made them feel better as well. And similarly, the children, they flourished and they had a supportive environment. They made new friends. They learned to navigate the classroom. They learned their routines, and it became normal for them. They loved their teachers and classmates. What stood out the most was a sense of camaraderie developed between the parents, the teachers, and the overall community. I had that same experience in my room as time goes on. I mean, I taught fourth and fifth grade for the majority of my career. So it wasn't new to these parents. They kind of knew what to expect, and it was a lot easier for me to kind of build that overall. But that's just a huge thing to see. We organized regular gatherings, parent workshops, class events. Things just bring everyone together, and it eased the transition for the children, but it also provided a network of support for the parents because they were navigating this new phase of their child's life. And it is hard, it's scary. Building that strong community is key to easing kindergarten anxiety. So when parents, teachers, and the school work together as a team, it creates this nurturing and inclusive environment where everyone just feels valued, supported, and they know that their kids are safe. It's kind of like a little reminder that, we're all in this together. We're cheering on each other for the kids. We're watching the kids take their first steps into the world of kindergarten. We're here to support you. Your kids are safe. All of those things that you kind of know, it's just reassuring to see it unfold and to hear it as a parent. And I knew that as a teacher. And now being on the other side, I am trying to connect what I knew from being in the classroom to me now as a parent. The school that my daughter is going to be going to, I've never worked in the school before, but I do know some of the teachers and some of the other like office staff there. I do know them, so that is a little bit more comforting. But um, it's it's still really tough for me. But as I'm preparing for this big step, it is really important to acknowledge my own anxiety. Same thing for any moms or dads that are listening as well. It is really important to acknowledge that you are nervous about this. Talking to other parents, seeking advice from teachers, practicing mindfulness techniques, all of that can help you manage those feelings and approach that transition with a sense of confidence and positivity. So, I did talk to some of my kindergarten teacher friends, and here are some of the tips that they gave me. Well, that they shared with me because I'm a nervous wreck, but these are tips they shared with me that I can now share with you. So, listen up, get your pen, get your paper, moms, dads. This is what they're saying is going to help us get through this. All right. Number one is connect with other parents. Seek out opportunities to connect with those parents in the school. Meet with fellow kindergarten parents. They're going through the same journey as you. Either it could be parent groups, school events, just reaching out to them via email, text if you get the numbers. Sometimes teachers have like a class system. I know when I was teaching, I used Class Dojo. I used the Remind app a couple times. Those are different ways that you can connect with people in the room. Just sharing experiences with someone who is going through something as challenging as this is incredibly reassuring. Knowing that others are going through similar emotions can provide you with some peace. And I do agree with that tip. When I was teaching, I always recommended that to parents, is to get to know other parents in the room so that you can not only be informed, but you can be supported and your kids could have a little extra support outside the room as well. Number 2 is visit the school together if possible, which hopefully it is. I'm assuming it will be, especially for kindergarten. Arrange a visit with the school with your child before the official start date of the kindergarten classes. Walk around, go through the classrooms, meet the teachers, look at the school grounds together. Help familiarize your child with this new environment. It can also ease anxieties they might have about this unknown place, making the first day a little less daunting for the both of you, because a huge part of it, at least for me, a huge part of my anxiety is worrying about her anxiety. I don't want her to be lost. I don't want her to be scared. I don't want her to be nervous. All of those things kind of are going on in the back of my mind. So something like this has always been number one for me. I have already taken her to see the outside of the school. We haven't had a chance to go inside yet. There haven't had any events. Like registration was just a couple weeks ago. So just letting her see the school, like, this is where you're going to go. And she loved that. She was excited about it. And as soon as they have something where I can get her in there to actually see the cafeteria, see the bathrooms, see what an actual, kindergarten classroom looks like, what the desks look like, I'm going to hop on that, because I want to be able to answer any questions she has while we still have time to address any of that. Number 3 is open communication. Keep the lines of communication open with your child and the teacher about kindergarten. Now, this one is for any parent, any grade, any age. Please communicate with your child's teacher. I know that we love our babies. We do. But they lie. Like, it is what it is. You have got to talk to the teacher. Your child may not understand something fully. They may not relay the message properly. Talk to the adult in the room. Talk to the teacher that has been put there to take care of your children and, keep things running smoothly. I know that some parents have in their mind the teacher is just out to get your kid. I want to let you know that is more than likely not the case. More than likely, there is something else to the story. Trust me when I say your little sweet angels at school are very different than your little sweet angels at home. Talk to the teacher from day one when there's no chance of issue, when there's nothing to be concerned about. Build a relationship with that teacher so you know her or him, you trust them, and you get to know them enough so that when things start going on, you can quickly email, text, hop on the dojo or the Remind and talk to that teacher right away. That is so important for all grades. But as far as kindergarten goes, talk to your child. Let them tell you their thoughts, their feelings, any worries they have. Listen to them, validate them and their emotions, give them reassurance and guidance when they need it. And also talking to the teacher, just any of your concerns, any of your questions, ask the teacher. As a teacher, I know in the beginning of the year, I really loved it when parents would be open and upfront early on about some issues with their child, concerns they had with their child, concerns that they had, worries that they had, because I could address it then. I knew then that I needed to handle that relationship differently. They needed a different level of support in my room. Don't be afraid to talk to your teachers. They are trained to be able to help you and your student get through this school year. But it'll help you leave anxiety and build confidence throughout the school year. And this is one that I did not have on my internal list, but some of my kindergarten teacher friends mentioned this, and I thought it was wonderful. But yes, self-care is key. As parents, it's essential to prioritize self-care during this period. Managing our emotions and stress is crucial to providing a supportive and calm environment for our kids. So, yes, allow yourself moments of relaxation, whether it's, yoga or meditation, exercise, hobbies, going out with your friends, or whatever you do, just do that. Do what your mind needs you to do. It is okay to feel mixed emotions. Give yourself grace and just find ways to recharge so that you can be present and positive for your child, and so that you can also support yourself as you need to throughout this journey. As we wrap up, I want to remind you that it is totally natural to feel a bit anxious about kindergarten. As y'all can see, I am right here with you. I started teaching in 2014, and your girl is still incredibly anxious and nervous about sending her girl to kindergarten. But trust in your child's resilience and the supportive community around you. And in my case, I am just believing that God has put the right people in place for my baby in her building. And I also know the Lord knows me. He knows me and he knows what I can handle. And the Lord will not give you more than you can bear. Sometimes I think he really takes me to the edge, but I do not believe the Lord would play with me when it comes to my baby. I don't think he would test me in that way. So that level of peace has definitely brought some calm to my spirit. Trust in that, and trust in that community that God has given you, together with your administrators, your teachers, your child, me. If you go down the show notes, see my social media, you can send me a message. Any questions that I can answer, or you just want to talk and relate on this, totally can. If you have a kid and you've already been through this, please hop in my DMs and tell me any tips and tricks and things you did that first week of school. Because right now I plan to be off and just waiting by the phone for whatever reason. But we can work together to make this transition as positive and exciting for our kids as possible. Thank you for listening today. And until next time, stay strong, stay resilient, and keep embracing the shifts. Bye.